rid of this computer. Okie dokie. Share. And there we go.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. I can't believe it. I'm back to square one. This was January 1 of
And we're
last year.
back.
It's a little bit basic, so I had to add a few more things because I know we got a lot of people in here. But the main thing I think is a lot of people are having problems with pests. So,
Yeah, I am also.
okay, well we're gonna get to that. Well, we're not gonna be it's not gonna be a really long class today, but I am definitely getting to the pest part of it because that's a lot of people are having this problem.
Okay. I should probably mute myself though, because my family is here.
Oh, okay, that's fine. You unmute whenever you'd like.
Okay.
Okay, so right now is a very slow time in our gardens. I want everyone to feel comfortable that if you planted seeds, things are growing slowly. We've actually had a pretty mild winter, and we're getting ready this week to go down into almost like below freezing. We're going to have a 30-degree evening one night this week. So I want to make sure that everybody is prepared with their garden to protect it if we need to. Just having 1 or 2 nights at 30 does not, like your lettuces will be fine, everything will be fine. But for instance, guess what's at Star Nursery right now? Strawberries. So it's a great time. Strawberries are similar to our tomatoes. We have a couple of times that we have a chance to plant them. The strawberries, if we get them in now, we'll have January, February, March, like, to have those roots in the ground. Oh, I'm frozen. To have those roots in the ground getting ready for spring. So this is a great time to get some strawberries if get the plants and get them in now. However, they don't like to be cold. So I have some show and tell. I'm going to do it later of some things that we can do to protect our plants if it gets a little bit too cold. All right. So another thing, it's so interesting. We really want to keep our beds free of debris. I'm always thinking to myself, oh, these leaves, they're just gonna break down in my garden and keep everything so nice and mulched and all that. However, leaves can have pests living in them. So that's why we want to go ahead. Like we have the whole saying, leave the leaves. That's in your yard, over in the corner somewhere. Leave some leaves. We want the leaves in our garden. We want our beautiful caterpillars and butterflies and bees and all the wonderful pollinators that need to be able to overwinter in the leaves. We want to be able to have them in our yard. Now, however, we don't want them in our raised bed because uh, some of those little critters in there could be actual pests. And the other thing that if you have a lot of pine needles, if you have a big giant pine tree near your yard, you want to get the pine needles out of there because the pine needles actually have, I'm sorry, I don't know the exact whatever it steals from the garden. But the pine needles, I think, is a little acidy. I think it makes the soil more acidy. We want to get the pine needles out because they can cause our soil to get to be a weird pH balance. So get the pine needles out, get the leaves out, and then you can mulch. You can mulch with some wood mulch, although it has to be no dyes. It has to be just regular wood mulch. I tell you guys, I know I've talked about this before. Gilcrease Orchard. It's a beautiful drive out there. It's a beautiful orchard. It's really fun to go to. We should, you know what, we should do a field trip out there. It's a wonderful place. They, if you call them and find out, they give away free wood mulch, and it's really good wood mulch. It's actual wood mulch. There's no dyes, there's no nothing, there's nothing in it. So it's organic for free. You can just bring your bucket, you can bring a truck, you can just pile, they don't even care. They just you put it in whatever you want to do and you take it away. So that's great for your garden. Even though I know wood chips do tend to, it can again take out some nutrients. It's nice for this time of the year because it keeps the plants warm, and then in the summer, it keeps the plants cool. But my favorite way to mulch, and you all know what I'm going to say, is compost. So if you can get compost, that is the way to go. Also, hopefully, look at this. This is a me in my garden. This was, I don't know when this was, but this is not planted enough. We got to plant lots and lots of stuff in our garden. I gotta take that picture out. That is a bad example of what a raised bed is. You don't really even need much mulch if you have it planted properly, which is really stuffed in there. We want lots of plants in there. We want to use all our space, and that keeps the plants cool and weed free and actually healthy. So, so while we're here, I'm going to show everybody, we're going to talk about some tools. Most everybody should have all their tools by now. But if anybody doesn't have this little hand rake, I highly recommend it. It, again, is wonderful for raking out the leaves in your garden, or better yet, if you have any kind of a rose bush. Rose bushes tend to really drop all their leaves, and rose bush leaves have a lot of disease on them. So let me just remind everybody that if anybody has rose bushes, right now is a good time to do it because your rose bushes are dropping leaves. Get those rose bush leaves off the ground because that is really going to, it could really harm your rose bush, and put them in the trash. Do not try to compost rose leaves. Rose leaves have a lot of disease on them. So that's a good little tool to have. And then this bucket, I love this bucket. It's called a gorilla bucket. It's lightweight, it's bendable. I have two of them. I just keep them around. I love, they're very durable. I'm sure they'll last for years and years and years, and they're not expensive. So look up Gorilla Bucket. If you don't have any of those are really handy to have around. And another thing I do with them, when it does rain, I put those Gorilla Buckets outside. I capture the water because our rainwater is the most wonderful water for our garden. So you can capture the water, and then when things dry out, you can water your garden with more rainwater. All right, so this is for new people. We always need structures in our garden. We don't want to have, do I have a picture of it? We don't want to have those wimpy tomato cages. Well, you can use bamboo. These are bamboo sticks that were tied together. You can use trellises, you can use arches. We just have to have a nice, tall, sturdy structure for anything that vines, our peas. Right now, we're in our cool season, so we're doing peas, a lot of peas, beans. Those are going up the structures right now. In the summer, it's going to be our vining tomatoes and a lot of things. Cucumbers. We need something for our cucumbers. They go crazy in the summer here. You can grow your mini pumpkins. You can even grow a spaghetti squash. You can grow anything up a vine. So anyway, that's fun to have. So, oh, I know what I was going to tell you about the structures. We need to clean them now. So once we're done, when we get ready to transfer out our peas to our tomatoes or cucumbers, you need to get just some peroxide. What is that? A mixture of hydrogen peroxide and water, maybe 50-50, and just wipe those trellises down. I didn't realize that that's an important thing to do to keep those clean and free of disease, because really, I do notice that mostly I notice it in my cucumbers. They get that downy, sort of that, they get crunchy and they get that, what is that, little fungus on them. And so we want to get all that off before we grow anything new. And now is a good time to clean all our tools as well. And our tools, there's lots of different ways you can do that. If you have some pruners, you can stick them in some water and alcohol. You know what? I'm going to send you guys, I don't have the recipe for that off my hand. I'm going to make sure to send that to you. The recipe to clean pruners, because maybe by now they're getting a little rusty, and afterwards you just stick them in this, like get one of those red Solo cups, and then you just fill it up with a little bit of whatever that mixture is, and then you just let it sit in there for about 20 minutes, and it's going to bubble up, and they're going to be beautiful. And then you just rinse them off and then put a little bit of olive oil on them or any kind of oil and grease them up and you're ready to go. And also you can sharpen them too. So this is a good time for cleaning up, getting things ready for our big spring summer. Refresh your soil. Don't forget, I hope everybody's doing good with those of you that are doing your composting. I hope that's going well. If you are finding that you're having a little bit of trouble with it, if you're finding that it's smelly or it's you don't have enough browns, this is a great time to run around your neighborhood and pick up your neighbor's leaves for them. They'll love you for it. Collect your leaves and make sure that you're putting plenty of browns, making sure you're turning it only once a week at the most. You don't have to turn it every week if you don't want to, but it's going to go faster. It doesn't go faster to turn it every day. So don't bother turning it every day. That cools it down too much. We want to get the pile to heat up. So we only want to turn it once a week and make sure that it's got a good mixture of browns in it because if it's too wet, it's going to smell, it's going to be heavy, and you're going to get frustrated. There
I've
should be
been
no,
turning mine just when I add to it, which is
well,
probably twice a week.
okay. You know what I do? So I sort of turn it a little bit like sort of on the top where it's just sort of, get it covered because you don't want it exposed to whatever. So I do sort of, I don't really turn the whole thing. When I put, and I'm adding to mine like almost every 2 days. Almost every day sometimes. I add mine. I use so much. I'm always adding to mine. So you can just turn it a little bit on the top, but then cover it with leaves and then you can turn it around. But just when I mean turn it, I mean really that's when you get way down in there. I roll mine on the ground sometimes. I really get in there and turn it. The other way to turn it, if you really want to turn it properly, you get a tarp and put it on the ground and then you just dump it all on the tarp and then put it back in. No, you're not going to do that. That's all. Too much work. That's what
Well,
we
you,
can.
you know mine rolls, so maybe I should just get my hands in there too, or just dump the fresh stuff on top and then only spin it every other time, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't turn the whole thing every like twice a week. That's almost too much. It's not going to
Okay.
hurt it, but what it's going to do is slow down the process.
Well, we need it to be
We
fast.
want
We've
it
got a
to
lot
be
of
fast.
gardens to
Yeah.
compost.
Yes. And then don't forget, once you feel like it's pretty much ready, then you stop when you want like the last day you want to stop adding it. If you've got it filled up like maybe 3/4 high, don't forget you want to stop. Don't try to fill it all the way to the top. And now it's going to sit and you got to start a new one and then that one sits for 3 months or more. But not doesn't just sit. It's going to get turned every week. You just don't add anything to it. Turn it every week. Water it if it needs it. Don't add any leaves. Don't add anything to it. And then in about 3 months, you'll have really beautiful. And then you'll have to sift it. It sounds like a lot of work, you guys, but once you get into the habit of it, like I just did, I just harvested a bunch of my compost. It's so beautiful. It looks like Fox Farms potting soil, basically. And it's so beautiful. It smells just like fresh soil. When you sift it through like some kind of a sieve, it's just beautiful texture. It's light, feathery, and then you just go out there and you just sprinkle it around your garden. And in 2 days, your garden is just going crazy. It just loves it. So that's my rant about composting. But of course, we can use worm castings. The worm castings at Star, they're called gold. They're actually called Gold Star worm castings, and they're very good. I don't know what this urban one. I don't know where I found this one, but worm castings are good, but compost is better. Also, don't forget, fish emulsion works, but you have to be careful. Fish emulsion is nitrogen heavy. That means it's great when you're starting your seeds. If you've got indoor seed starting, you could put the fish emulsion on that. It can burn your plant if you don't get enough water with it. You just need one little capful 1 tablespoon, I think it's a teaspoon, maybe even be a teaspoon, teaspoon or tablespoon per gallon of water. It's a very, you have to really dilute that fish emulsion. Otherwise, you're going to burn your plants. And also, if your plants are starting to flower, stop the fish emulsion because that's when it needs potassium and phosphorus. And the nitrogen is going to encourage it to get too much green. And you won't have any, you won't get any tomatoes or cucumbers or whatever. So be careful of the fish emulsion. That's why I love compost so much because it's a no-brainer. It's like just put it on whenever you feel like it, whenever you want. You can add as much, as little. It's just a great thing. Uh, this is for those that are new. If you're getting ready to start a new raised bed and you don't want to have rosemary and you don't want to have to spend a lot of money on soil, but you know what? You can do the hugelkultur, and that's just putting some logs in there, branches and sticks, grass clippings, compost, and then it's topsoil. So that's actually, I don't know why they do it that way. I would reverse that top one. I would put topsoil, then the compost on top, and then mix all that in when you're getting ready to plant. And then when you're getting ready to plant, when you dig your hole, add some worm castings in there. So you got lots of good stuff going into your raised bed. Any questions on that, Rosemary?
I mean, if I was living on a farm and had access to logs, that would be great. I could do this, but
If
I
anybody has,
don't.
Rosemary's been
Yeah,
so generous with everybody. So if anybody has a
but yeah,
tree they've cut down,
I
please
need some
donate your tree logs
wood.
and branches. Rosemary's got a huge project. Contact her on our WhatsApp and let us know if you have
Please
any
give me
logs
your
or
wood.
branches for her charity. Um, all right, now don't forget, check on your irrigation. Check that, make sure that everything's flowing out and it's all going well, that there's no clogs. If you have a clog, like this is the irrigation system I put in almost everybody's raised bed that I've installed. You can just get like I don't know, like a skewer, like a wooden skewer, and get out there and poke the hole and make sure that they're flowing properly. And you can easily twist the little tubing to make sure that it's flowing the right way. So just get out there and run your irrigation, do like a test run, and then get out there and adjust everything. Also, when you are amending your soil, this is an easy, this grid irrigation system is so easy. It's very lightweight. Just pick it up and shake it, and then all the dirt will come off of it. And then you want it to stay on top. You don't want it to be covered because then the holes get covered and it doesn't water your plants properly. So just be aware that you guys, our soil, it's natural for it to go down. It's going to go down. And every few months, you're going to have to keep amending it. That's why the compost is great. You can just amend it with compost, or you can amend it with some Fox Farms soil or Vera Grow soil, but keep it high up so that it just it's a chance when the soil goes down. It's a chance to amend it. It gives us room in our garden to get that fresh soil going. So it's just a natural way of an easy way to keep our soil fresh.
Yeah, I will say I started a few new pots always, and I the soil because it was all new. When I put it down, it really went down, like probably 6 inches below.
That
And now I've
much.
yeah, and now I've seen there's like kind of some mildewy stuff under the leaves in there with the radishes and the carrots because it's just like it's not getting that airflow or the sunlight
Mhm.
being up higher. But I swear when I planted it, it was level or like, within an inch of being
Yeah,
level.
that's what I'm saying. It's so funny because a lot of new gardeners don't even realize that that's just not even to know to look for it. And it's just one of those things where it just does naturally. It's what happens is the soil compacts really exactly sort of that's what happens to it. And anyway, we just need to keep what I do personally is I'm always out there just sprinkling soil around. You don't want, Rosemary, you don't want it to go to 6 inches. before because then half the time you've got some plants in there and there's no way to really add too much more soil in there. It's a little bit difficult. So be on top of it, everybody. Be aware that we should always have bags of soil or compost hanging around and that you're always sprinkling it and keeping your soil up high. The other thing that we should have in our bag of tricks is just a temperature gauge that you would use to check a chicken, like an insta read thermometer. Because when we're getting ready, especially now, when we're getting ready to have, this is a tricky time. This spring, summer is very tricky. And that's because our tomatoes, and I'm trying to think what else there is. There's several other plants. When we get maybe in February, we'll review it a little bit more. I'll give you the exact temperatures for the plants. Each plant, I will give you each plant what temperature. The seed will not germinate. Tomatoes, if you put them in the ground too early, it's going to be a disaster. Your tomatoes won't grow properly. We have to wait for the soil to warm up a little bit. But as we remember, as so many of us had happen, that window from spring to summer, because once those temperatures get to 100, the tomato stops growing. So we have this little window to grow our tomatoes. So we want to get them in early, but we don't want to get them in too early. And the way to do that is to check the temperature of the soil. So we're getting ready. This is a good thing to have on hand. Let me put this down here. Let's see. This is um this is a good thing to have on hand because then you can really see it. So here I was talking about the summer and spring and summer plants, but the same goes true for our cool season plants. Our lettuces, our parsley, our cilantro especially is really affected by heat. And if it's too hot, once it gets hot, it's just going to bolt. I tended to put in some cilantro this year and it was starting to get cool. And then all of a sudden we had a little hot week and a lot of it bolted. I had to pull it out and replant it for a couple clients because it just got too hot. And some of my lettuces bolted too. But now, oh my goodness, lettuces are going crazy. They just look beautiful. And it's a beautiful time right now. I also want to say, oh, here's Tracy. She said she might be late. Hello. Hey, Tracy. Glad that you made it. Um, what I was going to say I was just talking about the temperature and what to do about our plants. I was going to say that I feel bad. I hope Candace watches this because I have to apologize to her. I encouraged her to take her tomatoes out when this has been such an unusually warm fall. It's crazy. I've got one client we didn't take the tomatoes out and she's getting tomatoes again right now. Now, of course, it's going to get down to 30, so I don't know if these are going to do much better, but it's crazy. And a lot of people never bother taking their peppers out. Was that you, Rosemary, telling me you never bothered? Yeah, you must have them in a really nice little microclimate and they're happy.
Yeah, I don't know why they get morning sun and they're just the little tiny mini sweet bell peppers. And they keep, I mean, it's not a lot, but
Yeah, no,
I used them in dinner tonight and
there you go. I've got some basil that's hanging on.
oh wow.
I've got basil and yeah, I've got basil. It's hanging on. So it's crazy. It's crazy. So this is Tracy, I think you should take a screenshot of this. This is a really good chart to keep track of when you're going to be planting, and you need something like a insta read thermometer. And then you know that once the soil, actually outdoor temperatures, between when the outdoor temperatures with the lows of 35, highs of 65, that's a really great time. Like for our lettuces, everything that we're planting right now, lettuces, radishes, carrots, they love this cool weather. When the temperature gets more like 65 to 85, that's our warm weather plants. That's when we're going to be planting all our warm weather plants. And then the hot is they like 85 degrees. So between the warm and the hot is when we plant our tomatoes and our cucumbers. They like it warm. And our okra loves it really warm. So it's good to know what what's the degrees so that you know what you're going to plant. I did a post this week where one of my one of my clients said, "Oh, my brother-in-law, he's such an amazing gardener. But I have a question for you." She said his peppers that are his he's growing right now, they don't have any flavor to them. And I said, "Well, what do you mean he's growing peppers right now?" And because he's this fabulous gardener, I go, peppers are a warm season plant, and they're not. I mean, if you had them in since summer, that's different. But if you're just now trying to grow them, it's very difficult because they don't like the cold weather. So just goes to show it's just not taught, or none of us were taught this, that there's these seasons that we can plant plants. So anyway, just have to be aware. And it's really based on degrees, it's based on the weather. So we are really good to know about that. Uh, so here's our we can still, like, you guys, this is so amazing. So many of my I have so many gardening friends that live in New York or Chicago, and they're just sitting on their tuchus. They can't unless they have a cold frame, and a cold frame is one of these things where it's just like a frame, it's just this plexiglass, I don't know what it is, some kind of a wood box that they put their plants in, and they can grow. It keeps it warm enough that they can keep their lettuces and things growing. But most everybody just can't do anything right now. So we are harvesting our lettuces and our Swiss chard and our kale and mustard greens. The carrots, I anybody how's everyone doing with their carrots? Mine are still growing. It, or I saw
Yeah,
somebody,
mine are still growing.
yeah, when just remember, it's gonna feel frustrating about carrots because you're gonna have your radishes are gonna go crazy, and you're gonna have all these radishes, and you're like, well, I put the carrots in when I put the radishes in. But carrots take a really long time, and you have to really make sure that you keep them 3 fingers at least, well, at least 2 fingers apart. If they have come up and you see the little green tops and they're really close together, get tough and pull them out. Like, you have to thin them. It's really hard. It's really hard to thin them. But if you don't, it's just going to be a big mess. I just had a friend of mine just posted that she's an amazing gardener. She's been gardening in North Carolina, which is super easy to garden in. She's been gardening for 4 years, and she said she still can't get her carrots right. And she doesn't like to thin them, and that's the problem, is that she doesn't thin them. And also, we just have to wait. You have to wait till there's little if your shoulders of the carrot, and you know what a carrot should look like, maybe it could be a little bit smaller, but um you can dig down there and see how they're doing, or just pull one up and you'll know how they're doing. But you can still use them no matter what. But you just want them to, I mean, if you really do it properly, you'll have lovely carrots. And don't forget, once you plant one row of them, wait a week or 2 weeks and plant another row so that you've got succession planting. Otherwise, you're going to have all these carrots, and you don't have to always harvest them all at once, but it's better to have a succession of them. Because again, carrots are one and done, radishes are one and done, turnips are one and done. So once you pull it, that's it, they're gone. Anybody planting anything these days? Any seeds? Everybody's just taking a break. Everybody was,
I finally got some cilantro seeds. I finally remembered to get them, but I haven't put them in yet. Then I was gonna put more peas in, but I
yeah,
don't know.
I actually, I think the peas should have been in by now. And don't forget, if you do
Yeah,
it, don't forget to soak them overnight.
yeah.
But you could try it. So, I mean, look on the date. I think a pea should be about a 60 day. Is it a 60-day thing?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, 60. So that's,
So the little stuff I have coming up is lettuce and spinach
uh-huh.
and beets, and then but my beets and my Swiss chard are always the ones that the pests come after.
Really?
Yeah.
My Swiss chard is indestructible.
I don't
And
know
my
why.
kale is one. The kale, everybody ate um,
Oh,
all my kale, and so I had to replant the kale, but it came back. Actually, I'm doing a post tonight after this. I'm going to put the post up. That I went out one day. I think I told you guys. It just ate. it just down. It was just like overnight. It was just like mowed it down. And I didn't do anything with it. I just left it there and it's all grown back. It's beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
it's like almost thinking that was like a hard prune, but yeah, it all grew back. So that was good. And my peas, one pea is sort of it's about this. It I had all my peas were about, pretty tall, like 12, 24 inches tall, and they just knocked them down. But then I've got some more coming up that somehow they came back and they're about 6 inches now. So I think we'll see how that goes. Even those I'm not gonna can't hold my breath on. But it happens. It happens. It happens. So just remember now that so many of you guys have had your gardens now, this is going to get easier and easier and easier. I promise you, because your chives come back and your lavender comes back and your oregano never goes away and your rosemary never goes away and your parsley. I don't know why I said parsley. Well, the parsley is a biannual, so it'll last 2 years. Sage stays around, your mint, your thyme, all these they're there, and they're just going to be great. Now, sometimes my thyme gets leggy and I just have to replant it. I don't know about you guys, but my thyme tends to be the one that I have to replant a lot. But otherwise, everything else is really nice to have. So your garden is already going to be a quarter of the way filled. All righty, so let's remember that we have to get our gardens ready to go, our garden designs. It doesn't have to be fancy like this, but just have an idea of where you want to put everything. And then you can figure out how many seed packets that you have to really curate yourself. You have to hold yourself back. So one of my I have this guy, this adorable guy out of LA. I met him. He's a makeup artist, and he is a scent expert. So he grows lavender. He's like a perfumery kind of guy, but he's also a gourmet cook. So he's so funny. He doesn't have any background in growing anything, and he got himself a plot in LA to like a little tiny raised bed. He got his stuff, and he goes, "Okay, here are my seeds," and he's showing me these seeds, and I'm like, where are you going to put all this? Where, you could maybe use three of these packets, but not 20 of them. So be careful of how many seeds you buy. But you know what, you guys too, when it comes to spring, maybe we'll do another little seed swap so that we can seed swap because when you buy a packet of seeds, it's so many, we don't even need all those. All right, I'm getting to the point here. Let's talk winter pests. Rosemary, unmute. Tell me, so of this, is my list pretty good? Worms, aphids, mice, birds, lizards. What do you have? What do you have going on? Whoosh.
I'm not sure what it is.
See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So just tell me what's the plant and what does it look like? What's
Yeah,
happening?
it's my little beets and my Swiss chard. As soon as they pop up, someone just eats the top of them. And I've been doing like the chili flakes and the diatomaceous earth, and we've had so much rain lately. I think that's part of the problem is like you gotta go back after each rain and put that stuff out again. And
Right, right. Okay,
so I think that's what's happening.
so I've got a show and tell for everybody today.
I wonder if it would be good to make a blend like the diatomaceous earth with cayenne pepper with um that dipel dust, like a trifecta. So whatever it is, it'll get it, you know?
I'm sorry, say that. I couldn't hear you. Say it again.
Like making a pest powder blend.
Oh,
I don't
you
know,
know,
maybe.
Rosemary, I have never heard of that, but hey, what the heck? Did you know there's also a well, I do hear about people putting stuff in the blender. Speaking of a blend, I mean literally
Hmm.
blending garlic, clove, peppers, and all that
Hmm.
stuff in a blender with some water and yeah, Dawn and all that kind of stuff, and just blending it up and just getting in a spray bottle. But this is my other solution. So have you guys seen this stuff? This is
It's like
grow
teal.
cover. And the way it works, you can get this from Amazon, or I think you can get it at store. And there's a lot of different ways to do it, but then you can get these things. These are these they're- Wow, that's not very. You put them together like this, and then it makes a
Oh, like a tent.
yeah, it makes like a tent. You bend it like that, and then you put them in the ground, and
Hmm.
then you cover it with this rose stuff, and then you get these little pins. So there's three components. It's these pins, these hoops, and you get these in plastic. They come in plastic. These are sort of a metal, but I like these because they really last a long time. But these little pins, and then the row cover, and then that it's sort of if you have worms, it's not going to work because the worms are already in there. But
Hmm.
if you have something that's eating, like what you have, Rosemary, I feel like that a cover might be the way to go for you.
Okay.
So it's in the seedlings. So, and the thing is that you don't even need at first, you don't even need these. You can just literally lay this
Sure.
on
Yeah.
top, but you have to get the pins. Where did the pin go? You have to get the pin and really be diligent about keeping it pinned down because those little things will crawl under there, whatever it is, a little mouse. If it's a mouse, they'll get in there and crawl in and crawl out. The other thing, I know you guys know this, but I brought one just in case someone's watching this and they haven't seen it before. But we have these, you have these things too, right, Rosemary?
Yeah. Hmm.
But this is not protecting anything for you.
I did not put those out yet.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I find it fascinating that they eat one sprout but not the other. I mean, these are all little tiny cuties.
yeah,
They're all so,
yeah. And then
yeah,
what they'll
it's,
do is, and they'll go for one, and then they'll come back and get the other ones. So
hmm.
be careful. So anyway, everybody, this is the situation, and and this is what it's a mystery until we figure it out. If you're trying the diatomaceous earth, what Rosemary was mentioning is that if it rains or you have your sprinklers, once the diatomaceous earth gets wet, you have to reapply. So
Hmm.
that's not as easy, and that's really good for worms. Now, if you have aphids, this is the thing. Right now, I've got a client that's got these little, and they're red. I don't know why they're red, but usually they're white. But these little red look like little red dots. They're little aphids underneath the leaves. Now, the little things like that, little white aphids or little red aphids or little black aphids, if they're under your leaves, you can just spray them with some water. Not a mister, not like a spray bottle. I mean, get the hose and you spray those suckers off. It doesn't matter where they land. Once they detach, once they're detached, it kills them. So you can literally, oh wait, here's my next thing. Solutions. So the diatomaceous earth is a great Castile soap. That's you put some Castile soap, like a teaspoon with a bunch of water, spray that around. That can help. That helps with aphids. Diatomaceous earth is for anything that's got a skeleton, like earwigs or mealy bug. What are they? Little bugs. What are those little curly bug things? Uh, what are they? Roly polies.
Roll post.
Roly polies. Thank you. I can see, read your lips. Roly polies, earwigs, roly polies, cat, any kind of worm. They don't like the diatomaceous earth. Oh, even ants. Ants is a good thing to get the diatomaceous earth. Also, I know this sounds gross, but we can just get in there with those worms and hand pick them. That's just a really good way if you just stay on top of it. I've noticed with, is it the kale? Kale and the broccoli, I'm getting big holes in some of my clients, and I don't see a worm anywhere. So I don't know. I think I'm going to keep putting some more diatomaceous earth around. But again, if you have the aphids, you can just use your hose. That is the easiest way, really, is just to spray the suckers off or cover them with the row cover, or you can use this. And if you don't have this, you can go to the dollar store and get a mesh trash can. But you know what? Don't forget to use these pins and pin it down so nothing can crawl under it. So you can use these pins for your row cover or your trash can or your I don't even know what this is called. You know what this is called? No. I'll have to find out what this is called. Okay. The other thing is I didn't talk about is the lizards. Have a lizard. So if let me give you a hint. If you have your seedlings, if they're getting chopped off like that, it's a mouse or a lizard. That's what it is. So you can set a trap for your mouse. Lizards, guys, this is nature. You're not going to get, if you get one lizard, it's probably going to have another one nearby. So really the best way to do the lizards is to have some type of a cage, trash can, and or whatever, and they can't get in there. They're too fat usually. So so if you've got holes in your leaves, that's usually a worm. If you've got little white or red or black dots under your leaves, that's aphids, and that's not good either. And the birds can peck at things. The birds can get in there and peck sometimes. And lizards and mice tend to cut things right off the top. But if you can get them past seedlings, usually if you can get them, a couple of inches tall, after a while, they won't bother them anymore. So you just really have to be vigilant, you guys. And I seems to me it's weird because this winter time it seems like we're getting more pests than in the summertime. We really don't have that big of a problem here. We really don't. But once you get something wiped out, like rosemary did, just have to replant and then cover it, I think. Okay. Any question, Tracy, how are you doing with all your plants? Can you unmute?
Hi there. Sorry, I was driving. I just got home.
Okay,
Yeah, actually, I mean, knock on wood, pretty good. I harvested a little bit of lettuce that we had in a salad
great.
last week, and that seems to be, kind of okay. And some of my little seeds are coming up. Um, it took a while for the cilantro, but it's breaking through, and then I've got peas everywhere. They're kind of slow. They're growing, but they're about 6 inches
Yeah. So everything's
tall.
been slow. Everything's been slow. It's going to be slow now for a little bit. And I
Yeah,
promise you, the minute like February comes around, oh
yeah.
my gosh, it's just gonna like your peas, you're not going to even want to see another pea ever
I
again.
know. I planted so many of them because I was like, let's just see. And they're
Yeah,
all, and then so yeah, I've got a little kale that's coming in, a little Swiss chard. I think it's kind of being shaded too much by my lavender, so it's kind of slow. But and
that's
then when you were talking about tomatoes, so I left my cherry tomato plant. This thing is hanging on. I mean, I don't even know. It's so ugly. It barely has a leaf on it. But it's got all these little cherry tomatoes on it that I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
good.
I
You may as well hold on to them. Or the other thing
what the heck?
you could do, and I sort of would suggest this because it's going to look at the weather, you guys. It's going to get down to 30, and that's
Okay.
really cold. Like that's going to no one's going to like that.
Yeah.
I'm
So
looking at,
take them in
yeah,
and
take them
like pull
in
them
and put
off.
them in a bag and just
Okay.
roll that, just put the bag, put them in a paper bag,
Okay.
roll it down,
Yeah.
yeah, close it up, and then just make sure you remember to check it. But
Yeah.
like
Okay.
like 2 to 3 weeks. It'll take a couple of weeks, but a lot of
Right.
them will do it. Yeah, I'm looking at this right now. Saturday, 31. It's
Oof.
really going to be cold. So yeah, take
Oof.
them in and let them ripen up inside. That'll be good. And then
Okay.
before you know it, it's going to be seriously, you guys. March. I mean, we're going to be putting in tomatoes. It's going to be
Yeah,
great.
that's wild. And I was happy to see because when I cleaned this out, one of my chocolate plants got taken out by accident. But I see it coming back.
There
Oh,
you- Yeah, yeah.
nice.
So that's another one.
So
Some of the flowers, like my alyssum, stays there. I had some snapdragons that they don't like hot, but I had them in a spot this year that somehow
yeah.
they stayed. And also
Oh.
the snapdragons, they make seeds. At some point, they're going to make these little teeny. It looks exactly like hornworm poop.
Oh.
Snapdragon seeds are little teeny tiny black seeds. And I
Okay.
just sprinkle them, like I save them, I dry them out, I sprinkle them
Oh.
around, and then they'll come back. That they're a cool weather. They like it right now. Like right now,
Okay.
if you buy snapdragons, they'll do really well, or you could put the seeds in. But that's another thing. See, everybody, we've got a lot of our flowers, like your chocolate
Yeah.
flower, that comes back. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Comes back, the mint and all that kind of stuff. The alyssum. Now I had to replant my alyssum. but sometimes it stays
Yeah.
for a couple years. It gets.
Okay.
Let's see what else is in there. Oh,
I
the
have
marigolds. Marigolds.
oh yeah, those are hanging on. They're
They
just
hang on. They hang. Now
yeah,
that's another plant. The marigold. If you get one of the heads that dries, if you let it
yeah,
dry on the plant, snip it at some point, bring it inside the whole head, and just let it really dry out really good. And
yeah.
then those seeds, those are the. Have you seen a marigold? What it looks like the seed?
I don't
It's
think so.
so interesting. It is the most coolest seed. It's not a seed. I mean, it's a seed, but looks like a little stick, half
Oh,
black and half cream. It's like a two-tone, right?
yeah.
Rosemary, like a little two-tones. You don't know what it looks like a little
I
piece of
don't think I
straw.
know.
Oh, they're
No.
so cool. Marigolds are so cool, and you can save the seeds, and and then you sprinkle them around. And I've had pretty good success with saving my marigold seeds. Marigolds don't really like the cold too much, but they all hang it. Some of them they're hanging in there.
They are. I think, it's just been so mild. Now I do have some calendula plants that are really struggling and I can't figure out what
Really? So my calendula is doing well, I put the seed in. It hasn't flowered yet, but it's come
mm,
up and it's doing really well in our garden.
yeah, they're kind of the seeds are, I mean the leaves are yellow and
Oh,
kind of yeah, I don't know if they're
okay.
overwatered or
Tracy, yeah, I was just gonna say.
yeah,
So I'm thinking if they're yellow, are you thinking they're getting too much water?
maybe? I
Yeah.
don't know.
So get your water meter.
Yeah.
Why do I keep ah why am I keep freezing? Okay, I don't know why I keep freezing. I don't know what's the matter. My internet's perfectly fine. Get
Huh.
your water meter out
Yeah.
and see if it's getting too much water. That can be it.
Okay.
Because really mine are doing fantastic. And as a matter of fact, one of my clients has a greenhouse, which is so
Hmm.
cool. And we planted calendula flowers in there, and I work with their chef, and I literally harvested beautiful calendula flowers for them today.
Wow.
And because
Okay.
they're edible. They're
Yeah.
they're a little bit, they're pretty big, so you want to just like get the flower petals and just sort of sprinkle them around a salad. They'll be make it look
Right.
pretty. Won't make it delicious or anything, but it'll be pretty. But anyway, yeah. So we I got some to flower, but that was in a greenhouse. And the ones that I planted outside, they're just very green and just the leaves, and then hopefully they'll be popping up soon. So,
Oh, one other thing.
yes.
I did leave my pepper plant in, my jalapeno peppers, and they're not getting very big, but um, they're like about an inch big, but some of them are turning red.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's
I
right.
don't know. I'm like,
Rosemary was
Mine are
sharing.
turning black. My jalapenos.
Yeah, yeah. It's great. I mean, I think it's great. Like just leave them,
yeah,
and then I mean, who knows if they make it all the way through? You can just keep going and you have your pepper plant ready to go for spring.
yeah. All right.
So yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah, I've had that with several clients that have like you're very protected. Tracy, you probably aren't going to have too many. Like the only thing you might have down the line would be like a little mouse or something nibbling on things, but you're really protected. And my garden is similar to yours, so it's really nice to have those walls, and you're not really up against any kind of
Yeah.
nature, and you should be pretty protected and have and again, it's more of a microclimate for you, and that's why your peppers they're hanging in there because it's just a nice, lovely microclimate where you are. It's a really nice place to grow. I think you're going to have a lot of success with your garden.
Let's
Okay,
hope.
let's hope. Yes, let's hope. So, all right. So now, basically. We are, where are we already? We're still at the early January. So we do have, I hope everybody's through some dill. Did everybody get some dill thrown into their garden this year? It's slow. Mine's slow to come up. I've got little bitty, like 1 and 2 inch dills right now, but those are going to go crazy. Like they get big and beautiful and flowers and the pollinators love them. And anyway, I thought I wasn't a dill person. Like I don't even like dill pickles. Don't really like dill that much in things, but Now that I'm growing it, it's like anything. I love dill now. It's a great plant. I love that plant. So we can still keep putting some seeds in right now, everybody, and still keep growing. And oops, sorry, my phone is why is it dinging? So yeah, we can keep planting. We are so lucky we can harvest almost all year long and keep growing. And has everybody started thinking about their seeds for spring? Don't forget, we got to start thinking about your seeds and your what you want to plant for spring and summer because it's going to be here before you know it. And here's the thing. If you don't get your seeds now, it's like so good to get your seeds now because all of a sudden you're going to be like it's going to come up on us so quickly. And we never really know. This could be a 2 week window to be planting. So it's really good to have your seeds ready to go. It's just one of those things that I just really encourage everybody to get their seeds now and be ready for spring. And then if you want to, you can start some of your seeds indoors. If I know, Rosemary, I am going to encourage you to use your grow lights and in a couple of weeks, try to get some tomatoes going or whatever you have, because it's really rewarding if you have that system already set up to get those seeds started, and then you really have a jump start on the season, unless you just want to go to the nursery and buy the seedlings, which is a lot more money. So if you have a
Yeah,
large,
I would do it again. I'm gonna be traveling all at the end of the
oh,
month,
I forgot about this. You guys,
so I'm not sure.
Rosemary is got the coolest thing. Tell us you're
It's
doing a
crazy.
movie.
My youngest daughter, who is a singer-songwriter, and she's 12 years old, she has been picked up. Her Christmas song has been picked up for a film, which is filming in Wilmington, North Carolina, where we lived for a long time. Both of our kids were born. And her original song, she will be performing it in the film. She's co-starring in the film. So it's called A Proper Christmas. So hopefully it'll be out by next Christmas.
Do you know who's producing it? What?
Dan's, my husband's in video production, so he's kind of the parent in charge of that. I'm like the parent in charge of the wardrobe and the measurements and
So
the
that's right. So
so
actually, Rosemary, and you bring up a really good point. If you're not going to be around, it's really hard to start seeds because they need
yeah,
attention. If you're going to be away for a week, actually, you're okay. You can cover them up with some plastic, water it really good, and they'll be fine. If you go for a week, you're actually okay. But I know if you're going to be gone, most people aren't gone at this time of year for more than a week. So,
yeah.
but yeah, don't worry about if you
So
want to.
when is the start date?
The
What do
start
you have?
date can be anywhere from end of January to middle of February.
Okay, well I'll be back by February 1st.
Oh, yeah. So see,
Yeah.
if you have your seeds ready to go, you can just pop them in February 1, and that's going to be
Okay.
great. You're going to be so happy to have a few things started early. Really great. Really great. Let's see here. I was going to say, let's see, what does it say to start indoors? The cucumbers, you can start indoors in February. Your basil, your cantaloupe, your cucumbers, eggplant. Oh, we can start our okra. That's crazy. I don't bother. You know what? Don't even bother starting okra inside because it's so easy. Like I wouldn't even bother. Oh, they said you can even start parsley. Pumpkins you can start inside. Your sesame plant, summer squash. Although I wouldn't start the summer squash inside because again, easy peasy to put in the ground. And also, we want to wait because if you plant squash or zucchini too soon, the squash bugs get them. So, yeah, those are all things. And tomatoes, like our tomatoes, we actually get those tomatoes are saying middle of January, but you'll be February 1. You're fine if you want to start some. Does anybody have any questions about anything? No questions? It's a quiet time right now. Just enjoy it. This is the quiet before the storm. Um, just be vigilant with the pests. That's the main thing. And just enjoy. And if something gets eaten, just replant and then cover it because otherwise it's going to keep getting eaten probably. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for showing up, and I so appreciate you all. And this is so much fun for me to be able to hear about what you guys are up to and your successes and even your challenges. So keep them coming. All right. Have a great week, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.